Hello.
Hello. So, good morning. I'm hot-blooded, check it and see. I got a fever of 100.1 degrees, or for the rest of the world, 37.8 approximately, which in Celsius, which is not really that high, but I do have a bit of a fever, which is unfortunate. Almost as unfortunate as you having listened to me sing.
We should play the.
Although, actually, that's worse than the fever.
We should play the fever theme from Dr. Mario.
So, I'm a little, as you could say, oops. I'm a little,
Under the weather.
yes, today, but it's not too bad. Still didn't stop me from going live to say hi to you guys, and it didn't stop me from working 15 hours the last 2 days. So, welcome to the show. And for today, let's start off with the Tool album update. Everyone here ready to hear what's new about Tool? Tool update. You hear it first. Nothing's updated.
Yeah!
And that's our Tool update. Yay!
Woo-hoo!
So I was working a show today, and one of the people working the show, I won't say any names because one, I don't remember his name, but he had a Beastie Boys shirt that said Beastie Boys Crew, and he actually was, I don't know exactly what he worked, but it was during the Hello Nasty tour.
Oh,
Do I
cool.
really have to? Oh, okay. And the really cool thing, and something that I'm like, man, I wish I could be cool like those guys. One of the things that he said was, let me just took the weather under the weather off, that they had a basketball net in the back of the venue, I guess, somewhere around. And after sound check, all the techs were just playing a pickup game of basketball. And the B-Boys came over and like, hey, we want in. So they got to play basketball with the Beastie Boys. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I think I might have shared before that story of, let me just make sure it's public. Okay. That story before of another person I worked with was a crew member on Motley Crue.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar, there's that was their final tour, but Tommy Lee had a dream one day that he was flying over the audience with playing the drums, and because the band had just like stupid amounts of money, they were able to figure out how to do that by putting his drums on a platform and literally raising it, flying it over the audience, and it just got more and more ridiculous. Who was the drummer for Slipknot? I forget. Sid? No, not Sid.
The main drummer was
Well, I think he drew some inspiration from it because he had a special drum throne which strapped in, and he started the drum kit started spinning. It wasn't quite as elaborate, but the drum kit started spinning, and then it went vertical. So he was down, around, and still playing perfectly, which is pretty amazing.
By the way, Joey.
Joey, that's right.
Who I think is
Joey, whoa.
now in Korn. I think he drums for Korn. Yeah.
So everything here says it's live, but public. So hopefully it is. Nobody's
Hello,
watching.
everybody. No.
I had a little failure earlier. I was trying a new thing. Now I have monetization back, and I set it to private, and of course it went public instead.
Yeah.
And now it's supposed to be public, and it says public. Maybe it's just I didn't announce it or something. Oh well, on with the show. So, park announcements. The Rock the Universe is this weekend, and there's a new $25 late night access for guests, which is a little bit like extra magic hours. So I'm not sure if that's something the Universal is trying out, because I've actually heard guests say, "Well, can we stay later?" Because there's like a private party or something, and like and then we're willing to spend more money to stay later. And like, sorry, that's not an option.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a holding area. Like, Stella, calm down. It'll be a holding area like it is for Halloween Horror Nights, where the rest of the park sweeps out and only the people who have those tickets can stay. Now, I think that's what our compasses are good for if we want to do that. I'm not sure.
I think it's similar to a Horror Nights ticket. I have to convert it to Rock the Universe, but yeah.
But the confusing thing is I can't tell if that means convert it for us or convert it for somebody else because it's not really clear.
Well, I think we, as team members, if we chose to, we could go to Rock the Universe.
I would think so.
Sometimes, like when it's a corporate event, we can't enjoy a park for a corporate event.
Which makes sense because you don't want these people paid a lot of money to have a certain part of the park, and you don't want to just like, all these team members who can go whenever they want, just to be like, oh, I feel like being here now.
So, if I was off on a Horror Nights night, and I was like, yeah, I'll go to Horror Nights, I could just, show my ID and then right this way, sir. I think it's if one of us had somebody who wanted to go to Rock the Universe who doesn't work for Universal.
It's just kind of muddy, but
yeah.
How many nights can a Horror Nights night if a Horror Nights good nights? So
Horror Nights is a little different because it's only
just the way you said the Horror Nights.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how many nights can a Horror Nights if a Horror Nights good nights? So the next thing is the 20th anniversary of Bob Marley's birthday jam. That is the 20th anniversary of Bob Marley's at City Walk, and the 20th anniversary of, like I said before, of Portofino, City Walk, and Islands of Adventure is coming up really soon, and I don't know why we haven't heard anything yet.
They will. I'm sure they will.
But I think they would have hyped it up all year.
Yeah. I mean, they were hyping up Universal's 25th, so...
Yeah, we got in just after that, so I don't know how far back it was that they did that.
Yeah.
So that's Saturday, this Saturday, or coming Saturday, February the 9th, from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that'd be interesting. It is a separately purchased ticket. So I believe we get a discount, but we can't just walk in.
Yeah.
And if you've ever come to Universal and walked across that bridge, it's open every once in a while between Fire Eaters and the Discovery Center. You won't be doing that until sometime in the summer, and neither will us. That's closing for what is rumored to be a rebuild so that the new Jurassic Park roller coaster can fit under the bridge or over the bridge or over the river and through the woods or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bummer for us, but that's not usually open to guests except for the summer and usually for the projection shows at Hogwarts Castle. But when it is, it's really nice if you don't want to walk through Hogsmeade for some reason or you already have. Yeah. It's a nice way to just bypass it because it gets really tight in there. So we have a whole bunch of LegoLand Florida announcements again 2 weeks later. Now, when we were there last year, one of the employees, team members, whatever, told us about the new hotel that's coming, and it is now announced. It is the Pirate Island Hotel in spring 2020, the first Lego Pirate Hotel in North America. Cool. It says it's connected to the existing hotel and Beautiful Lake, the name of the lake. Pirate Island will be the third on-site accommodation for LegoLand Florida Resort, located a mere 130 kid steps. I don't know how they measure kid steps away from the main entrance. Those hotels are really, really close. If you can believe, even closer than the Hard Rock is to Universal Studios, and that's really close. So, and now it says the hotel will feature 150 fun-filled rooms with an expansive pool deck, which I don't know so far their pool decks haven't been expansive, and hundreds of Lego models and numerous character experiences. Now it says something about it being attached to the existing LegoLand Hotel, which or connected somehow. I don't think it means it's attached to the building because then it would really just be an expansion. So we'll have to see.
It might be one of those bridge tunnel things that they do sometimes.
Well, I'm thinking it's just going to be next to it.
But connected implies that you don't step outside to go to the other hotel.
Maybe. We'll have to see. But we did see that back in August. Someone told us, or didn't see, we were told. I tried again to get some pictures up here, but I can't seem to do that without getting rid of the video completely. But that's what it's going to look like.
That looks really cool.
Yeah. So you can see up here, there's like towers and stuff. And yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting. And it's opening very soon in 2020. So will the second part of the Universal's Endless Summer Resort in the former Wet n Wild. So, also, it feels like LegoLand just started building the Lego Movie World over in LegoLand, Florida, and it's opening on March 27th. So that seems pretty quick.
Yeah.
And that looks pretty cool. They had not a press release, but a small short clip. I was going to try to play it on here. Oops. From announcing the date. They didn't invite any media. They just put the video out for now. And I'm on their media list, but I sent them an email to say, hey, do I have to register, or are they going to send me some communication or something? But we'll see. Hopefully, we're going to go see it, but I'm going to try to get for their media event when that opens, because it looks pretty cool. So
cool.
Now over to Universal Studios, and part of Universal Orlando, but specifically Universal Studios. Mardi Gras is coming up.
Don't fail me now.
Someone was one of the people in entertainment were rehearsing for it, and I started singing that song, and they're like, "Oh, this is my first Mardi Gras." I said, "Oh, don't worry, you'll know that song very soon." Very well. So the first one up is February 9th is just Bush. Yeah.
You know what? I never really liked Bush. I mean, even the big songs that I know, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go check them out. It's the only group or band or artist on the entire lineup that I even remotely like.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll check it out. You know, it might be like the only chance I'll ever get to see Bush live, and I'm like, why not?
Well, they were here last year.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I didn't see anybody last year. So I requested off for Bush, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
I'm more of a Miller guy myself. So then February 16th is Gavin DeGraw, which I have to guess is country. So no, thank you.
Well, it might not be a country band, but that does sound like a
metal band.
Huh?
Maybe a death metal band.
We are Gavin McGraw. Prepare to die.
Supposedly the Rock the Universe bands are super, super heavy and like have mosh pits and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds
like really heavy.
I don't know about all that.
That's what I've been told. You can look up the bands. I just don't bother.
Because I've often.
But you know how those bands are. They're singing about salvation and stuff. But all I hear is.
But I've often thought about like.
And there's no words. It's just noises.
Could like a band like Ministry or Slayer or Anthrax or somebody or Metallica like play in the Music Plaza? Well, there'd be mosh pits, and like I don't think Universal would really allow that. So
supposedly they do break out sometimes.
Well,
and there's also some big bands, and it's gonna be hard to sell them on such a small music plaza.
Now I have seen Slayer at the Hard Rock Live in City Walk. Now that's a different story. That's
right.
The Hard Rock, and they've got their own insurances and all that, so they can allow a mosh pit. Now I've seen Ministry at the Hard Rock Live, but I don't think Ministry could ever play the Music Plaza in Universal.
But the biggest mosh pit of all time is going to be at Hard Rock Live. The heaviest, they're going to be a few body bags involved because it's going to be just brutal.
Who is it?
Weird Al. Because nobody's crazier in the pit than a Weird Al fan.
No. Yeah.
It's just fists are flying. They put tar and They put like broken pieces of glass on their fists. They're just brutal. They're just ruthless. They sometimes you watch them on YouTube. The fans are smashing accordions over people's heads. Yeah.
It is funny. When I did see Weird Al live, like the whole family was wearing tinfoil hats over their head.
I saw them right when he was touring for the Off the Deep End, which sadly is the closest I'll ever get to actually watching Nirvana.
Yeah,
in person. I watched it on MTV near the end live. But, over cable, when I was at my parents' place in Florida, because my parents' place in Pennsylvania didn't have cable because they said it was 1,300 feet from the road, and after like the first 200 feet, they charge $1 a foot, or maybe it was more than that, and like there'd still be $1,300 to hook up cable, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that. So, poor me, I grew up without cable.
Partially.
Mostly. Although, depending on which Weird Al song you listen to, he says, God bless cable TV. God bless cable TV. And then there's another song where he parodies Can't Touch This, and he says, Can't Watch This. So it's terrible. So I guess it depends on his mood. So after that is Dan plus Shay. And I know you like that group.
I don't know who they are either.
Sure. It's like cutting a tree and seeing the rings. You can tell how old you are by how many of the Mardi Gras concerts you have to look up, because you're like, who's that?
Yeah.
Where's Beethoven? And once again, that's on the 17th. The 23rd of February is Macklemore again. If it wasn't, it'd be at Mackle-less. March 2nd is Sabrina Carpenter. I guess she's one of the Carpenters. I don't think so. Now that's not even dating me. That's older than I am. the Carpenters. That would be my mom. My mom's generation. And March 9th is Becky G, followed by March 10th with Sean Paul, surprising nobody.
Yeah, he's here like every year.
And now...
Actually, how many years has he been going every year?
I don't know. We haven't been here that long. And now the two concerts I'm interested in, I thought you might be. I'm not a huge Steve Miller Band fan, but I'll go see them for free.
Yes.
I mean, they have some decent music. It wouldn't be my first pick, but they're good enough.
Yeah.
And a real live living Marley, Ziggy Marley. So
cool.
I want to check that out too. I think it's his son.
It's one of his sons, yes.
Yeah.
He had a lot of kids, apparently, and a few of them went into music.
Because there's a lot of them. It's unfortunate that they couldn't figure out. It's probably the wrong day of the year, and maybe Ziggy is doing something else for his dad's birthday. But it's too bad that he couldn't have been playing on the 20th anniversary of Bob Marley's restaurant and on Bob Marley's birthday.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But and then after that, March 23rd is NF.
We don't know who that is. NF.
Not finding something to say about them. And once again, on the 24th, unfortunately, Pitbull, who apparently isn't that great of a person, because I think he actually used to or might still be involved with Pitbull fighting. So boo for that. Yeah. Because the organization I used to volunteer for that was trying to end breed-specific legislation someone mentioned like, oh, we should have Pitbull. It's a Miami coalition, and he's famous for being not from Miami, but
no, he's from Miami.
Oh, is he originally?
I think so, or maybe. He's lived in Miami like most of his life.
But he's famous for Miami, and like, no, if you look at how he's treated dogs, it's not good. He would be a bad spokesperson, unfortunately.
I've never heard that, but I'm not that into Pitbull. Like, I know the name, and I've heard some of his songs, but like, I've never heard that. I heard he takes his name from supposedly when he first started, he would rap battle, which is many a lot of rappers when they first started, they would do rap battles, and he took that name because pit bulls are, tough. So he does that.
And supposedly they lock their jaws and don't let go, even though that's a total myth and not true.
No.
But people believe it, and so he went with that name.
That may or may not be true about him. I don't know. I've never heard that ever. The former football athlete, Vic somebody.
Yeah, Michael Vick.
Yeah. He was definitely involved with that. Like I remember hearing all about that, but
yeah, you only heard like a little bit about that. I've heard a lot more about it, and I'm not gonna say it because some of the stuff he did is just probably way worse than anything that's been public.
Okay.
And it's just awful.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you find out that you're like, can I unlearn that? Can I not know that? I really, really would like to unhear that because, oops. Just trying to see if we're really okay. I mean, it looks like we're not private, so okay.
Sometimes this happens. So we go live and no one finds out until later.
So if this was an issue, I'm sorry, I've been so dead air here, but I just wanted to triple check. So if you were not notified because I didn't put out a video, let me know because I tried doing that. We have to re-record a new promo because last time we were live, I hit 1,000, we went pop, and then we recorded a new promo. Problem is, the audio is still muted from the party poppers, and so it's just video with no audio.
Oh, whoops.
So we'll do that after we're done here.
Okay. But yeah, it's not his fault. Like I'm watching him hit the buttons, and he's trying to set it all up, and it's tricky. And I know from experience,
like rocking a rhyme.
Yeah, and I know from experience, like sometimes these things are like really confusing. You're like, okay, so where's this? Yeah. And I have to go around and I have to dig like into three things. Okay, here's where this thing is. That should have been on the front page.
Well, it wasn't that. It's like I'm looking at the page right now and it says public.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on. So the 30th is Bazzi, Bazzi, which something that
sounds like a hip hop artist.
Yeah, it's something that that Kyle from View from the Cheat Sheets tweeted, and he said he only knows that name because when his daughter is in the car and has control of the radio,
yeah,
that's where he's heard it from.
Yeah. Well, then maybe it's a rock band. She seems like she's into rock music.
Yeah. I forgot. I already looked it. I looked it up, but I forgot. But new is this. You can't see as much as I'd like to show, but we have a new desk, sort of an anchor desk. So that's going to be
America.
That's going to be wide enough for when we finally have some guests, which hopefully will be next week. I was hoping it would be this week, but schedule conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And the final one is March 31st, which is to be announced, which is pretty impressive because last year, I believe that Mardi Gras had already started and was a few weeks in, and there were still bands that were not announced.
Yeah.
That's the only one that hasn't been confirmed yet. So, and we already know that Macklemore and Sean Paul are confirmed. So it's not like, obviously it's going to be this. We don't know. Maybe it'll be Tool. No. Now that would be one packed studio. They would probably hit capacity.
Oh yeah. And there would definitely be mosh pits for Tool.
Yeah. So, being that's not going to happen. Now, something is happening tomorrow, which is Velvet Sessions at the Hard Rock Hotel. It's $20 for us to get in, but no thanks, because it's Soul Asylum.
Didn't we see them live?
No.
Oh, that was Collective Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soul Asylum is the
Runaway train
never coming back.
Well, that train can run away without me. Thank you. So other stuff. I finally added more tiers to Patreon. I don't know what took me so long, but it took me a while. And now you can have your name in the beginning of the Ruddy Paws videos, as well as Orland Dave. And there's another special offer. It's 2 for the price of 1.33. And that is both have your name at the beginning of both Ruddy Paws and Orland Dave videos for $4 instead of $3 for one or the other.
That's a good idea. That's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to support both channels, and like instead of paying $6.
Yeah.
Which
I thought that would be a little too much. And I was like, well, maybe I was sitting on $5 for a little while, like, nah, maybe. But because for only $1 more, you get both. But like, well, for $3, you only get one or the other. So
yeah. But no, that's a good idea. So it's a good value.
So that's why it's not 2 for 1.
Yeah.
It's 2 for 1.33 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what I think the math works out to. And it probably doesn't because, me no do math, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ask you, the Ghostbusters 3 trailer and all that hype about the movie next year, that's fake, right?
Apparently not.
I don't understand after all these years. Unfortunately, Raymond, was it one of the cast members?
Eugene Levy.
Who played,
who played Egon.
Yeah, Egon. Unfortunately, he's been gone for a while, and I thought that was the end of Ghostbusters 3. It would have been nice if they got everything together and actually made the Ghostbusters 3 when he was still alive. Mm-hmm. We don't know, of course, if he would have been in it. But so far, supposedly, Ernie hasn't been approached to be in the movie, which is weird.
Which I don't like. You got to have all the surviving members. You got to have Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson is an OG Ghostbuster.
Yes.
Like in the movie, he wasn't a founding member. Like they were open for like 2 weeks, and then he came in like, "Hey, do you guys need any help?" Yeah, sure. Come on, you're hired. Yeah. But he's an OG Ghostbuster. It's disrespectful.
Do you believe this and believe this? If you pay me enough, I'll believe anything you tell me. So they kind of disrespected his character in the movie, it's easy to say it's race. It might not be, but now they're sort of disrespecting him in real life, the actor who played the character, if that's true. Because I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be part of it. And even like the character who played Janine, I don't know if she's been approached or if she's interested, but you can't have 2 out of 4 Ghostbusters if 3 out of 4 of them are alive.
Yeah.
So if they approach him and he's like, nah, that's different.
Yeah. If they're doing a Ghostbusters 3, now I did hear that it's not going to have anybody from the original cast. It's going to be a whole new cast, which they tried in 2016 to...
Yeah, which it could have worked. A lot of people are like, oh, well, people didn't like it because they're women. No. It is a man's role. I'm like, no, I didn't bother to see the movie, but from what I saw, people didn't like it because it looked like a bad movie.
Yeah, and I am hearing that the director of the 2016 movie and some of the cast are upset because everyone's looking forward to Ghostbusters 3, and he's like, well, what about 2016? And look, it's got nothing to do that the cast was female, all right? And that's not the problem. The problem is it looked like a bad movie. It really did.
Yeah. And they had a lot of really good people in it too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
but that happens sometimes. Like you look at the cast and the director, and like, oh, this has got to be awesome, and then like, what happened?
Yeah. Jenny McCarthy.
I mean, there might have been some studio interference that made it. They made some bad decisions, and like, no, trust us, go this way, and the studio's like, yeah, we have the money, so we're not going to do that. And
actually, I think really it was. I think what it came down to is they didn't really have a plan for this Ghostbusters movie. It seemed like from what I've seen from behind the scenes stuff, it was more about like goofing around and joking and having fun.
Yeah.
and not really trying to focus on making a solid movie. And supposedly, like, they do this like little joke where one of the Ghostbusters sings a song like a few seconds from The Wizard of Oz, and that cost a couple $1,000 to do.
Mm.
And the director was like on record saying, like, I don't remember where it's from, and everyone was like, The Wizard of Oz. It's from The Wizard of Oz. It's one of the most iconic moments in that movie. And I think even saying The Wizard of Oz probably had to cost him money. Maybe that's why he did that. I don't know. But everyone looks at it as like the director didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. Which is too bad. And what I've been reading is that it's a continuation of the first and the second Ghostbusters, and it's kind of ignoring the third one, but it's only because it's going back to the original, which will be a trilogy if it comes out. I would like to see them try to make another Ghostbusters movie with the cast from 2016 with a good script and a good director, because it certainly could work. It just apparently did not.
Yeah, I mean, even the trailer got a whole bunch of dislikes because like people didn't like what they saw. The reason it's ignoring the 2016 movie is because the 2016 movie was a reboot. It wasn't supposed to be part of the original two movies. It was a completely new story. It had cameos from the actors, but I don't think they were supposed to be their old characters. It was
I don't think so either.
Like Dan Aykroyd was a cab driver who was into the paranormal, but that's just Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. Oh, and that Dave and Brian did fall.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago that happened.
It was during when you had the little screen up over there. I heard it. I was like, oh, okay. I heard a big thump. I was like, oh,
whoops,
there it goes.
So, and now on to MegaCon Orlando news that was announced a couple days ago, but this guy doesn't know that I'm going to do your favorite thing.
What?
That several stars are going to appear on stage. Mikhail J. Foe, Try Stop Her, Lied, Princess Leia, T. Hom Son, Tom Wilson, and Jams Token.
Now, so if you're completely confused,
I believe that's I believe he's related to the guy who wrote those books about rings.
That's kind of possible, but it's the wrong spelling for that. So Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Tom Wilson. What is that? That's Back to the Future cast reunion.
James Tolkien.
Oh, James Tolkien.
Some minor characters like Biff, somewhat minor characters like Biff. I think James, or one of them was the principal. And
okay.
One of them was Michael was the mother back in 1955.
Leah Thompson was the mother.
Yeah.
Tom Wilson played Biff. Michael J. Fox played Marty. Christopher Lloyd played Doc Brown. I'm not recognizing James Tolkien.
I think he played the principal of the school, who had a small part.
But
so it's like
important.
It's like the big names and then like a little bit off the side. So I guess they kind of like, if anybody, maybe they put out a release or something to like anybody who is in that movie who wants to come, sure. So it's not just the big names. And apparently, last thing on here is, I guess Trump legalized hemp in the U.S. again after many decades of prohibition. Now, if you're not aware, hemp is related to marijuana, but it's different. And so, boo Trump for doing that.
Huh?
Boo Trump.
Boo Trump?
Yeah.
Boo. What are we doing?
Because he legalized hemp, which is great. So boo Trump. Boo. That was terrible, Trump.
I'm confused.
Because I'm a liberal. I can't say that he did something good.
Got it. Okay.
No matter how good, no matter what he does, it's Trump. So I have to say it's a terrible thing. So So he legalized, from what I was reading, he legalized hemp production, which was banned, even though apparently some of our founding fathers used to grow hemp. And he legalized the transport of the raw materials between all 50 states. And the thing about hemp is it uses less water. Stella, it needs fewer pesticides, and it makes a lot of things. Like it can make concrete out of hemp, which is at least as strong or stronger than regular concrete. You can make ethanol, which is superior. You can make actually the hemp seeds are very, very good for you. You can make cloth. You can make so much, and of course, being that it's sort of a weed, it grows super fast and can slow deforestation. Can eliminate our need for fossil fuel. We can just literally, it can do everything. As far as I know, it can do everything that crude oil can do. So. Cool. But it's been banned for a long time, and now industries don't like it, especially oil companies. That's one of the reasons why it was banned. But from what I read, not anymore.
Cool.
So, I guess we'll. Oh, also one more thing. I went to a nice high-end hotel today to work. I don't have the money to stay there, but I thought this was interesting. This is the Pepsi can they have, and yep. That's a itty bitty tiny logo on the can. That it's kind of like the cliche when you go to a fancy restaurant and you have this giant beautiful plate with like everything is all artistically and like you have the tiny portion of like one pea and like a little cutlet of a beef or something, and like the whole thing is like 2 ounces of food on this giant plate with like swirls and artistic stuff.
And it's $30.
Well, if it was an expensive meal, it would be like 60 or 100.
Yeah.
But because I've eaten at a nice restaurant when somebody else was paying, and I've seen $100 a plate easily. But not when I was paying, because I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the same thing. Like this is a high-end hotel, so it's like itty bitty Pepsi side. Just so you know, it's Pepsi. Just we're not gonna throw it in your face because it's very polite, very nice, very nice hotel. We don't want to be all trashy, so this is a Pepsi, and it's in a small can. Now, 11 years ago, I went to Korea, and a lot of the sodas came in a can like this. It was a little bit shorter, but it's I guess maybe they don't consume soda. By the gallon like we do here.
I also heard that a lot of people from the UK who visit America are very surprised and overwhelmed by the portions that we see.
Yeah.
Which
correlates to the portions of the people.
An adult portion is what we call the kid portion.
Yeah.
And they also. They're surprised by all the ice that we put in our drinks like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised by you doing that.
But I think that's awesome. Like I like a cold drink.
If it's out of the refrigerator, it's already cold.
No.
It's at most 40 degrees. That's cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 40 degrees again Fahrenheit, which is eight degrees above freezing. I mean, that's pretty cold to me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think what it comes down to is other countries don't consume the volume that Americans consume.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
And some of us consume a lot more. Mm-hmm. But so I thought that was interesting. So, thanks to the empty room over there for joining us. And we'll be back probably in 2 weeks from now, and we'll see if we can get a guest. That's on the 13th of February, which is a weird name for a month. So,
bye everybody. Very cool.